स्मृति को बोला
क्या एनिमे है वो?
हाँ वो इधर ही बैठा है बैटरी और चार्जर निकाल लो आज लगा लो।
अरे ये वापस भेज दिया मैंने तो से भेज दिया।
हाँ स्टूडेंट एक्टिविटीज
Is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. This was well said by John C. Maxwell. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is both a privilege and a pleasure to welcome you all to today's event. Leadership is the cornerstone of progress, and this gathering is a testament to the boundless potential that lies within each of us to inspire, innovate, and make a difference. On behalf of Club Sankalp, the official leadership and nation building club of IFHE Hyderabad, I extend my warmest greetings to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. L.S. Ganesh Sir, our Registrar Ma'am, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Ma'am, our Director, Mr. Venugopal Rao Sir, our Dean, Dr. D. Satish, and our Student Activity Coordinator, Professor Madhvi Garika Bharti Ma'am, and Sita Ma'am, Prerna Ma'am, and Maharaj Paid school teachers and students, and everyone present here. I am Nitya, your host for today, and I am delighted to guide you through this inspiring journey. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to thank our annual sponsor, Snap 224, Yojo Farms, and Obsess Salon. A heartfelt thank you to Newswire for your timely and unwavering support, which added immense value to our event. A special thanks to Nazaria for your exceptional coverage and our bringing our event to life through your impeccable live streaming. Your efforts truly made a remarkable impact. Today's event is a celebration of dreams, aspirations, and the relentless pursuit of growth. As we embark on this journey, it's my pleasure to introduce our first segment, a heartfelt offering by the students of Maharaj Paid Zilla Parishad School, the future leaders. These young and bright minds come from a school that fosters curiosity, resilience, and the courage to dream big. Their words will give us a glimpse into their hopes, passions, and the incredible potential that lies within them. They remind us that leadership is not defined by age, but by the strength of one's vision and the determination to make it a reality. As they take the stage, let us offer them the warmest applause and our undivided attention, because what they share today may inspire us in many ways we never expected. So without further ado, let's welcome the future leader of ZPHS Maharaj Paid School to share their dreams and aspirations with us. First, we have Tejashree with us.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Tejashree. I am from ZPHS Maharaj Paid School, 9th class. I want to become a doctor when I grow up because it's my dad's dream and I like helping people feel better. When someone is sick, I want to make them happy and healthy again. Doctors are like superheroes who take care of everyone. As well as I will be ethical throughout. If I become a doctor, I will always try to help people, be kind to them and never hurt anyone. I will take care of everyone and the best I can do because that's the right thing to do. I will study hard to become a successful doctor. Thank you.
That was amazing, wasn't it? Now we have Vaishnavi.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Vaishnavi. I am studying in 8th class in ZPHS Maharaj Paid School. I want to become a software engineer because I am interested in computer science subject. I want to make robots that will help people and make their life easy. Also, I want to learn about new technology and use it in our daily life. I want to help others and I will study hard to become a software engineer. Thank you.
That was way too amazing. Next we have Nikhil.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Nikhil. I am studying in 7th class in ZPHS Maharaj Paid School. I want to become a mechanical engineer because I am interested in science subject.
my name is Shailaja and I am studying in 9th class. My dream is to become a software engineer. I want to be a software engineer because I love technologies. I want to create apps and tools that can help people. I believe this career will help me to solve problems and do something creative. I am ready to work hard and learn new things to achieve my dream. Thank you.
Wow, that was truly inspiring, wasn't it? The passion, determination, and clarity these young leaders bring to their dreams are nothing short of remarkable. Listening to their aspirations and the reason behind them remind us of limitless potential that lies within the youth of today. Their words don't just reflect ambition, they reflect a vision, a hope, and a drive to create a better future. These students are shining example of what it means to dream big and take the first step towards turning those dreams into reality. I would like to extend a heartfelt appreciation to these young students who not only showed up but truly excelled in their roles as speaking in front of these many people is no small feat, especially when you're only 10 or 12 years old. It takes a lot of courage, confidence, and determination to stand up and express yourself. And today we have witnessed that bravery. Let's give them a big round of applause for the outstanding performance. I would now like to invite on stage Janam, a true future leader in the making who has played a key role in connecting with these children and inspiring them to open up and express themselves freely.
Good afternoon to respected guests, faculties, and my fellow mates. I am Jainam Shah, the SPOC of Club Sankalp, the official leadership and nation building club of IFHE Hyderabad. I joined Sankalp with desire to give back to society and develop my leadership skills. Throughout my journey, I have wonderful opportunity to interact with my team, to collaborate with and to lead, serve and inspire the society. My experience with Sankalp has taught me that ethics is the foundation of effective leadership. It's about making tough decisions, being transparent and taking responsibility. In today's world, where CSR and sustainability we talk in all of our conversations are no longer optional. They are essential. Sankalp has helped me to understand the importance of CSR and sustainability and giving back to the society. My journey with Sankalp has been transformation and I am grateful for the opportunities I have had. As I move forward, I am committed to embodying the values of ethics, leadership, CSR and sustainability. I aspire to be a leader who inspires others, drive positive change and makes a lasting impact. Lastly, I would like to thank Professor Madhikarika Patni ma'am for constantly mentoring and supporting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerem, for your kind and motivating words. With that, it's time to move forward in this exciting journey. I am thrilled to hand over the stage to Harshada, who will guide us through the next segment of this wonderful event. Over to you, Harshada.
Thank you, Nitya. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Harshita and I'm excited to take this event forward. Keep the momentum going. Before we start, I'd like to request VC sir to address our guests and audience. our guests of today. Mr. Srinivas Sir, Team Lead of CSR Funds at VNR Vignajyoti Institute of Engineering and Technology. Sir, I'd like to invite you to the stage. Postgraduate in Management from Pune University, his interest lies in CSR sector where he worked as senior associate for 7.5 years with Mahindra Satyam Foundation, Hyderabad. He is trained on globally standardized GRI-based sustainability reporting and a specific point of contact for foundation on Mahindra and Mahindra sustainability report for CSR sector for the past 3 years. Next up, we have Anindam Natta sir, advisor and former CEO at Insurance Company Bureau of India. Anindam sir has over 26 years of rich experience from digital, IT and business services leadership. He started his career in TCS and in 17 years there played multiple roles across various domains. He has helped 30 plus organizations on their digital transformation journey in Gartner. He was CIO and CDO of Wellness Forever, a pharmacy and lifestyle retail chain. Further, he was the CEO in Insurance Information Bureau of India and worked with various insurers in data and analytics needs of the industry. Next up, we have Praveen Upadhyay sir. He's the head of a hands-on expert in overseeing the development of large-scale infrastructure projects, CRE, supply management, and vendor management. He has worked with corporations such as Virtusa, HSBC, Accenture, GE Capital, supporting their IT service operations of delivery centers with customer touchpoints. He has spent years in express industry, 3 years in travel and tourism, and continuing with ITES industry for last 20 years. Next up, we have Shashidhar sir. Mr. Shashidhar Singampalli is a senior professional with 25 years in the corporate world. His experience spans a range of sectors, including commercial real estate, capital infrastructure, and a range of organizations from Fortune 500 MNCs to young startups. Currently serving as COO in Procline, a pioneering climate enterprise dedicated to making net zero both impactful and profitable. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now I'd like to welcome our moderator for the day, Professor Marty Garigapati. We are privileged to have our guests here today, and we are eagerly looking forward to their insights and real-life experiences on navigating ethical dilemmas in leadership. So without further ado, let's begin the panel discussion. Over to you.
Good afternoon once again to everyone. Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, my dear school children. It is so happy to have you here. Along with the school children, we also have the headmaster of Zilla Parishad High School here. Thank you, sir, for coming with the students. Thank you so much. We have the honored guests on this thing. So as I discussed earlier, we are going on a short question kind of a format where we are looking at each one of you sharing your experiences on a few collected thoughts and questions that the students have. And we are expecting you to share your own experiences, your journey, and how do you think these students should handle this, because they are going to go into the corporate in the next 6 months' time, and they'll be handling all these challenges. So one of the first questions that we are looking at is, starting at the value system that they are brought up with, how do you think these students who will be the leaders for tomorrow maintain integrity under the pressure from stakeholders? And how do they maintain the balance between the business demands and still stay true to the value system that they think about? So we can start with Srinivas sir first, then Arindam sir, then Praveen sir, and then Shashidhar sir. Then the next question we can do it in another order. Is that okay?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. This should be actually what we propose is it should be interactive session rather than me talking to you. So we also request you to participate in the talk. The first question which we have here is, it is portraying two important factors. One is leadership, second one is stakeholders. So I will only relate to my experience which I have gone through in my companies earlier, so that it will be much more practical and useful to people rather than me talking in a theoretical manner. I was actually handling corporate social responsibility portfolio for a major cement company in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka as well, two cement factories in fact. So when you talk of cement factory, all that, we require a lot of land. So a lot of villagers would be taken into account, and we need to buy the land from the villagers, and while we buy the land, we raise a lot of expectations in the villagers that we will do this, we will do that. That's how we buy the land and set up this cement factory. So the very first day of this job which I went, then the villagers have said, "Why did you come here?" I said, "No, I came to help you out, I came to serve you." I said, "Nothing doing, get lost." That's how, very categorically they have told. So then it was a big challenge for me. And before actually getting to villagers, I have to tell you, the major stakeholders, like, where I work around the villages, the community. Because we have the cement plant in the mid and surrounding the villages are there. Got to areas of Gulbarga, or backward region of Karnataka. And of course some parts of Kadapa. So then they said, "Why did you come here?" So then we came, the management sent me to serve you. They said, "Nothing doing. We had enough, we can go." So that's how the first day happened to me then. So then what do I do? Will I have to quit my job? No, because I took it as a challenge, and I came to this particular organization. People have told me about the ecosystem prevailing in the villages there. So what do I do? How do we motivate them? So there are a lot of political groups again involved in this. See, one is Congress party, or there is another party sort of stuff. So politically we need to take care of the stakeholders, then the villagers, then we have to take care of the youth. The youth have aspirations differently, and we see a lot of people getting into drugs, getting into a lot of other bad habits there. So it was a big challenge for me. So eventually then what I did, so I wanted them to be very happy. So then the first thing, I put the elders out of the entire framework. Said, "What is your problem?" They said, "We don't have any medical facilities." So the first thing was to set up a telemedicine center. That's how we brought in the innovation there. So we set up a telemedicine center where through Apollo hospitals, the patients sitting in the remote villages used to interact with the top class doctors in the hospital, and that's how the first confidence we get in their minds. And then they said, "This guy seems to be okay now." Then we moved on to the similar projects like waste management, getting the segregation done in the villages, and setting up a dialysis center. That's what I'm trying to tell you is, we'll have a bottleneck in the very initial stage of the job or wherever we start our career. But see how we can able to know them, study them thoroughly, get back to them, then balance it with the management. Because they have a lot of things to talk about. But we need to have the budget, we need to have the sanctions. So balance between both the stakeholders, then take the confidence of the government there, and pitch in and do your best. And today, we are all these projects, despite this about 5-7 years old story I'm talking about, maybe 10 years old. Still, all these hospitals and facilities are functioning very thoroughly for the villagers. They are all happy. What happens is, you don't take care of the community. One is taking care of community. You don't take care of the community, your operations are hindered, your production is hindered. So therefore, all the stakeholders have to be properly handled. So this is my personal experience related to the first question. Thank you. Any doubts we have? I think doubts we take.
Fantastic. So, as Sir did, I'll also relate one example. Lots of them over 26 years, as you know, so it was a little difficult to think through examples. But what I've been fortunate with, as you heard from my profile, been very blessed to play different roles, right, across leadership including CIO and CEO role. But one thing which stays with me is I've been part of this organization or group which I think all of us are very proud of, which is the Tata Group, right? About 17 years I've spent in Tata Consultancy Services, and beyond that also I continue to interact with them. And recently also we were sad to lose Ratan Tata sir, but I think all of you have seen all the anecdotes. They have become fresh in our mind. So I'll give you a very real experience that I had while in TCS. And from that, I think it will come to life what ethic means on the ground. So I was a local ethics counselor in TCS. And what happens is, when you have certain cases reported, they come to the local ethics counselor, okay? Frankly, I didn't have the total learning up or background about it, right? I've been sort of brought up as a software engineer coder. I was very happy to hear some of those aspirations, right? Some of you have done that already, I'm sure. So now I'm put as a local ethics counselor, and in front of me was a very interesting case. There was a lady, just note it, there was a lady who was a security personnel. And on the other side, there was a leader who was in the organization for about 19 years. And the lady was the victim of a certain case. It was brought to me, and honestly, I initially thought, how would I give a sort of a judgment, right? It's all hearsay, how do I base it? But I could turn to something which forms the basis of this Tata Group for 150 years. And that is the Tata Code of Conduct. And there, when I again reread it, there was one line which caught my attention. That line was, this code of conduct applies equally to everyone, even if that person is a vendor or not in the company's payroll. And this was the exact case for the security personnel. You will realize it even in setups, all across. And then the decisioning was very clear. And as per Tata standards, because the evidence was very compelling, the person who was a 19-year-old leader in the organization was asked to step out the next day. I stop my instance with this. Let the message stay with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends. Integrity, it's a very critical thing in today's world. It was there, it is there, and it will be. What is integrity? Doing the right thing when nobody is watching you. Simple. But the thing is, we just fail to do so, irrespective of pressure, whether it is stakeholder or customer or anyone else. So I use courageous integrity. That means गलत काम तो मैं करूँगा नहीं, that is integrity. मैं करने भी नहीं दूँगा. That is courageous integrity. So I remember one of the instances. I have had many examples, but I just want to share one with you. And I was to work in one of the most admired company called G Capital. So there was some issue. I used to manage the transport, employee transportation, and the vendors there. You have a lot of money per kilometer and you are paying
so you get money also out of that. If your integrity is not with you. So there, this case was there, and I was able to manage by raising the voice through the whistleblower, and something wrong was happening within our team, and then investigation happened, and more than 8 to 9 people were thrown out of the company. So that could happen only if you have the guts to raise the voice for anything happening which is not understandable to your will or you don't agree to it. The main point is not raising the thing, but you should have the gut to raise the voice. That is what the integrity I talk about. Thank you.
So I will not make you all say good afternoon to me again. You already said it often enough. But thank you all for being here, and thank you for inviting all of us. Thank you, ma'am. I would actually begin by giving a word of appreciation for the kind of topics chosen for this entire initiative. It's very refreshing after probably many years to come back to an academic campus and share our thoughts and experiences with the students and aspiring leaders. And we even have school students to put on top of that. So we just heard my co-panelists, and they were sharing some very deep and impactful experiences. So I want to speak some general principles, and also try to bring in some specific experiences I've had with regard to ethics and the ethical dilemma. So Mr. Upadhyay, I also have worked in the infrastructure, the commercial real estate sector, and I've also worked in climate and sustainability sector. So the thing is that you need to understand certain fundamental principles or actions, and this is the right time to understand them. So you have to understand that actually doing business ethically is the only way you can be long-term sustainable and even commercially profitable. Okay, so this is not something which is probably part of textbook curriculums, but this is experiential, and you will hear people who speak on these topics, probably often mentioning these things. So you have to understand that being ethical or having integrity, either at an individual level. We heard your VCs speaking about various levels of organization, beginning you as an individual unit all the way up to society and the world. So at any level, or to bring it closer to home, most of you, you're all MBA students, I presume, and you're aspiring to get into some corporate or even startups or anything which takes your fancy and interest. So to bring it to that context of business, if you want to be successful in business, please understand or take it as a fundamental action that you have to do it ethically. Okay, it's very simple, right? And secondly, from people like us who have already been through the industry, who have started out life, like all of you are going to start out life now. Some of you are, I think most of you are final semester students or pre-final semester students. You're going to get into the world in a few months and gone through all these things. You learn from us what is the outcome of not following integrity. We just heard from some of my co-panelists what kind of outcomes result from that. It may be in terms of personal moral conduct, it may be in terms of, let us say, at a community level, or it may be at a corporate or a business level. What is the outcome of that? And I can personally share, I've also worked in large-scale project environments, large capital projects in commercial real estate, in manufacturing infrastructure, and so on. And I have personally seen that something very similar to what was being shared earlier, that they were, because what happens when you're dealing with large monies, large capital passing through, there is always the temptation that something can be made out of it, to put it very simply. And there will be people who will succumb to that, okay? But you shouldn't be amongst those, because I have seen it And there were difficult times where I was trying, I can share personally without giving the details and the specifics. There was pressure to be pulled into that entire kind of network or clique. And you would actually be threatened sometimes if you don't get into that, right? The reverse ulta, it's happening opposite of what it should be, but that's how the real world is. And often there's a term which is used, not as often it should be, but it is used, there's a crisis of character. There's a crisis of character and ethics in the business world in general. Not wanting to paint a negative picture for all the young minds going out there, but be aware that is one end of the spectrum and you'll come across that. So, but the point here is that there will be pressure. But if you stand your ground in spite of any pressures, and the pressure can even go into some covert threats and so on also. But if you stand your ground, you come out on tops, okay? And I'm relating incidents which happened roughly 10 years ago with me in my own career. But here I am standing in front of you and I hope reasonably successful as per my aspirations. So, second thing is understand that there are going to be consequences if you violate ethics, right? And thirdly, understand for all of you, especially relevant, the third axiom I would put forward is, in the future, sustainability, ethics, doing the right thing in business, these are the mantras already, right, that you hear about in various circles. So you have to align yourself to them, and the more you align with that, the more you will be the future of the world in terms of, it may be the corporate world, it may be the business world, it may be anything you want to do in the society or for your country, and so on and so forth. So previously when I graduated, say 25 years ago, it was not so very clear. Nobody spoke about these things. Probably Mr. Upadhyay graduated, nobody was probably talking about these things because our generation, the emphasis was on, okay, go out there and get a life and get maintenance and get a livelihood, right? But now you have more options and you have more exposure. There is information and communication technology. So with all these things, I can tell you, I work in sustainability by choice, right? I graduated as an architect, I did my master's from the US, I worked in real estate and infrastructure and so on and so forth. I went into leadership roles, but by choice I'm working in sustainability and climate because I feel that is where I can put forth my ethical propensities to good use. And I hear a lot of these circles. Believe me, in the future, ethical business is going to be the only way of doing business. So you can get that as an axiom. So if you start out with these three actions, I feel you have a very good chance of solving any ethical dilemmas or facing up to any ethical dilemmas in your future. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just trying to combine the other two aspects that we were looking at. One is social and environmental impacts which are on the business operations. The second is the growing interest and the focus on ESG, environmental, social, and what is it, guys? making sure that they are not asleep. So this is something that they are listening to in the class on a regular basis. ESG is something. So if the organization is already on the line of ESG, it is different. But if the operations are different and still they have to focus on ESG, how do organizations look at it and what is it that they can do going forward? This is the next set of questions. Maybe we can start with Arindam sir.
That was a bouncer. She just thought that was the first name to call her. but thanks, man. ESG, I think very important terms. But again, I'll fall back on, and I think, I'm not sure if I said it already, a lot of examples in my case, I'll quote from the Tatas. Okay, question, quick. Tatas have built a lot of business across the years. Can anyone name the latest business that they have gone into, the latest one or two? Any hands? Any answers? Aviation? In what? Air India? They have been there for quite some time, but that's a good guess. Anything else? Aviation. Anything else? Green energy. That's a good one. That's a good one. So that's there. Yeah. One more hand. Telecom. But again, they have been in telecom quite some time. But yes, BSNL and all that they have picked up. Anything else? Pharmacy. Which one? 1mg. Tata 1mg. Great. Okay. I think ma'am will now scold me for. Yeah. Okay. Ma'am is allowing one more. Yeah. Big basket. Very good. All of you are ordering a lot of stuff. Okay. Okay. I think so. You covered a lot. You did not mention one thing, which is semiconductors. Okay. Do a little bit of research because it's an MBA class. I'll bring up that part also. They are into semiconductors, and there are plants being set up as near as Hosur, which is not that far from here. Okay, there are plants in Assam. There is something in Dhulera, Gujarat, and these are all big projects. But I'm not bringing that up for that. Okay, why I'm bringing it up is ma'am mentioned ESG, right? And the point here is that in some of these organizations, it is inbuilt in the operations. And I'll give you one or two examples. I visited their facility, the Hosur plant, and what I saw some interesting examples. They have a cafeteria which feeds, I think, about 20,000 people. Okay? But I'm not talking about the food. What I'm pointing out is when I probed a little bit, I found out that at least 70% of the vegetables that is used in the cafeteria, and it's cooked in-house, comes from the villages around, giving very important employment all across. So if I noted ma'am's question, it was, how does your ESG and all that build into your daily operations? Interestingly, the milk comes from two facilities where it's an all-women setup, where this milk is collected in stations, and that the milk, the other products, dairy products come from there. So what I'm trying to say is it should be inbuilt into the operations. In the way we do our work every day, it should be ingrained. A totally different example is I've spent some time in an organization called Gartner. Any one of you know about this? Any hand? Gartner? Oh, I'm surprised there is one hand up or half a hand. Very, very good. Yeah, nice. What does it do? Yeah, research and advisory. Gartner is the world's top institution doing research and advisory on digital. Okay, so before a Gen AI comes up, Gartner predicts that Gen AI will be top and so on and so forth. Why I'm quoting them is they have they are almost paranoid about having ethics in the way they do research. And when I asked the question, they said that is what our brand reputation depends on. We will not allow even one individual to compromise on ethics. So you get some examples. Ma'am, I'll pass on to the others. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir. The second question relates to certain very, very important critical aspects of life as well. Personally, I would also say, because we have to start charity at home, then do it at our business level or office level or corporate level. how do we protect our environment? So that is very, very critical. I relate it to my campus here where I'm currently working, PNR Nanjoti Institute of Engineering Technology, where about 300 kgs of food waste is generated every day in the canteens. Must be more here, if I'm not wrong. So what do we do with that waste, food waste? Any guess what can be done with the food waste?
Fertilizer.
Sorry?
Composting.
Vermicompost and anything else?
Fertilizer. Compost.
Biogas. So therefore we have set up a biogas plant in the campus. And we are enabling the students to understand the importance of the environment in segregating the waste into dry and wet. So that also we have started. So what I'm trying to tell you is start charity at home before you preach, or talk to others about it. So that is very important. Therefore, another important thing is when you get into corporate jobs, if you are asked to work on sustainability or asked to work on ESG, you have to go into the field, you have to go into the villages, you have to go into community, talk to people. When you do that, please be in sync with your management. Don't make any tall promises. If you make tall promises, then you are defeated because today people are very smart. So what I'm trying to do, be a smart leader, bring in innovation and put it before the world. You will become the most admired person in the world. And your objectives will be thereby achieved. I think this is very important. Thank you.
Sustainability. What is sustainability? Simple. Ability to sustain. Correct? We should remember in our life, forget about corporate life, in our day-to-day life. Because our corporate life also part of day-to-day life. Whatever we are able to sustain for long is good for us because we are helping the nature or the environment to less contribution to the landfilling. Correct? So now, in business perspective, sustainability is very vast. I'll just talk about like ESG. We hear this buzzword of ESG. This was coined in 2005, but came into its mainstream only after COVID, 2021 onwards. So what is ESG? E means environment, social, governance. So in business impact, under environment, you have a lot of opportunities which you can do, we have done. You can do the LEED certifications, which is going to help to conserve energy, water and paper, all these things. And then you can go for EMS, ISO 14001 certification, environment management system. That you can do. And then social, because environment is related to whatever you can do from reduction of carbon perspective. If you are using fossil fuel, you can switch to EV, which is good. Then under social, you have ISO 45001, which is nothing but social governance of our employees or the suppliers or even our team. So under social, you can do that. The CSR also, what sir mentioned, comes under social only. So whatever you are able to do, you can give back to the society through your various means. Because now the government has mandated 2% of your revenue to go for CSR. You have to do that. And under governance, like how you managing this E and S to create a proper governance so that you are ethically reporting to the government, because from 2023 onwards, ESG reporting has become mandate for all the corporate. So that's how it is going to impact on your business, because when your client, customers come, when you showcase them so many things, they feel so happy. They see, wow, we are going to do business with this kind of company who engage and involve in sustainability in ESG in various means. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. poised. How do companies approach ethical transparency if there is an increasing investor focus on ESG? So, first thing is, try and look at ESG, not try and look, it actually is, but realize the fact that ESG or sustainability in general is not an obligation, but it's an opportunity to do well as a company and to do good to the world. Right? It's an obligation, an opportunity to remediate whatever damage might have been done in the past. So it's actually an opportunity, right? And I can personally vouch for that. I have been in touch with the ESG and sustainability space for a good 2 decades now. So there are increasing opportunities. There are opportunities for those companies which are in business as usual. There are opportunities for professionals like yourself going out. But when you go out there, and let us say you are in charge of, or you have some kind of accountability towards ESG of your organization, there are various protocols, there are various reporting standards. There's GRI, SASB, BRSR, some of them global, some of them are Indian and local, and so on. And naturally, you need to pick up those things. You need to understand the techniques, the details of those things, pick up the skills and experience required for that. But along with that, understand that don't do it just as a reporting obligation because an investor expects you to do it, but do it because that is the way you are going to add value to your business, right? So don't just look at it as a stick, but to put it in conventional terms, look at it as a good incentive or a carrot. So there's a lot of business opportunities in the sense that you can actually in the long run make your business more profitable and also sustain it for the longer run compared to those who are acting as business as usual today. So in that sense, it's very definitely a very compelling business proposition. So stay firm on that platform, and then whatever reporting you do, whatever your investors ask you to do, whichever protocol they ask you to comply, whatever reporting they want you to do, all of them will fall in place. And as some of my other co-panelists spoke, the opportunities are immense. Across operations itself, there are so many things you can do in terms of environment, even social and so on, governance, financial governance, ethical governance and so on. So how you give back to the community, so many opportunities are there, and that goes beyond this forum. So while you do all of those things and try to benchmark them against some reporting protocol or mechanism, just keep that this should be the core DNA. If you do that, then automatically, you will see the value proposition. It doesn't become an imposition. This I have found is the best way of, balancing the investors' expectations with your own conflicting interests, so-called conflicting interests as a business, to be profitable and to grow and do well.
Can I add something? I just remember triple R. Reduce, reuse, recycle. This is going to help you to sustain long for anything. And the second is, are you aware what is the, today we are working in various ways and means to reduce CO2 emission. Carbon कैसे कम किया जाए, correct? So, can anyone tell me what is the CO2 percentage in Earth atmosphere? 4%? It's 0.04%. Just imagine, we have CO2 in our Earth atmosphere only 0.04%. 78.9% is nitrogen, 20.8% is argon, 0.04% is CO2, and rest 0.04 is other gases. So we are sitting on a time bomb. CO2 is only 0.04%, and then we are looking so many things like why CO2 is so much high. See the condition of Delhi, pollution and all that. So आज से प्रतिज्ञा कर लो कि for everything whatever you are doing in your life, please take care that CO2 is lesser. How can you do? How to do the habit of CO2 in your day-to-day life? Thanks.
Sir, I think because of the paucity of time, we will kind of come to the closing remarks. Because 3:10 we have to close because they have another class. So I last 30 seconds each, if you can actually share in terms of what qualities, 3 qualities do you think the leaders of tomorrow should have? What 3 most important qualities should the leaders of tomorrow who are sitting here should have for future?
Be smart. Don't work like a bull, but be smart. That is very, very important. Secondly, be innovative. Try to bring in innovation as far as possible. And thirdly, be technologically upgraded day by day. I think these are the 3 things which I feel you must all reach. You are going to become a great leader.
I think Sir has said it all. So if we keep adding, there will be 12 things, 3 each. But I think in the context of what is being discussed today, I've heard the word integrity come up a number of times. So that is very, very important. See, all of you are in a journey. We've been in part of that journey. There's more to go, obviously. That's how I would like to think of myself. But when you look ahead, just first thing is have fun. Life is going to have its ups and downs. Okay? Have fun. Be in the moment. Do what is integral for how you look at life. Okay? So have that integrity. That's where the word integrity comes from. And finally, I think do something for which you will be remembered, hopefully. If not that, you will stand up to what is called public scrutiny. If anyone picks up your work 10 years down the line, you should be proud about it. No one should find any flaws in terms of what is the topic for today, which is doing ethical work. Keep at it, and you will be successful wherever and how you are. Thank you.
You all want to become leaders, right? So just remember, out of if 100 people are there, only 3-4 are leaders. Rest all are followers. You can see in your experience and in the world. So try to be of those 3%, 3 to 4%, not the followers. Question status quo. Whatever is happening, why it is happening. You guys are millionaires. You know, logical. So one is, sir mentioned that about integrity, maintain your values. Honesty, ethics, integrity, all these, that's number 1. Number 2, always try to raise the voice when you see something is wrong happening, even with you or around with you. The third is, love your body, body will love you. Take care of yourself. Don't try to be liability on your family. Because if you want to do something good for others, you can do only when you are good. Thanks.
Well, it's all of that. So, but Madam said 3 qualities. So, I'll again pick 3. So, one is integrity, obviously. It is woven into the theme of today's session, and believe me, it's much more than just a word. It goes very deep, right? And the more you try to meditate and work upon it in your life, personally and professionally, you will realize the depth of it and the challenge of it, and along with the challenge, there is also a reward. Second thing would be that empathy, right? None of us are working in isolation. We work in a company, we work in society, community, and so on. So be very empathetic to people around you. They may be your peers, your superiors, your team members, whoever it may be. Thirdly, I would say be very smart and connected. Already was spoken. You need to be very connected, and I think it's especially for business management students very relevant. We live in a very fast-paced constantly evolving time. So you need to be well connected, keep yourself updated. This I am saying that all of us are several decades of experience in our corporate careers, but we still have to keep connected and keep learning. So be smart and be connected. So I would say these are the three things which would be important for a leader.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to add with in the teaching world being for almost 25 years and another 5 years before that with the industry, there are a lot of things that we have also seen in terms of coming in, but then every single time when I go back and connect with the students from the batches of 2001, 2002, I started with IFHE in 2000. So the one thing that majority of the students remember, of course some of them remember the teachings, but most of them remember the way the teacher has made them feel. Right from your schooling, you know, it was so nice with that teacher. It was such a good teacher, or they were such a good one. So as they are all saying, empathy and integrity and all these things, it's a long-term impact attitudes that you need to carry, and something that is really, really important. Incidentally, today in one of the sessions, I was talking about services, and we were taking the example of the ordinary heroes of Taj, and sharing the experience when terrorist hit 26/11 situation, where the people who actually stood up for the 600 employees of Taj, not a single employee left the organization, didn't go out of the hotel. Every single employee stayed back till the, close to 1100 guests from that place walked out. Okay? Out of the 34 people who passed away that day, 17 of them are the employees of Taj. 17 were the guests who could not quickly move. But every single employee stayed back and went. And the way they're still being talked about today is because of the courage, empathy, and the service attribution that they have actually shown. Right? Something for you guys. Hope you had something else. Now I hand it over to you. Thank you.
The entire event was, organized and run by the Sankalp. Hats off to you, because at this age you have been doing so great, and tomorrow you will definitely excel better. And thank you, especially Jainam Shah, you have really been coordinating in a very good manner. So thank you so much.
Thank you to all our speakers for sharing your perspectives and lived experiences. These insights are invaluable to us, and as we do prepare to be the ethical leaders of tomorrow. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your for being the moderator and for your guidance. Let's give them a big round of applause. We know you have questions, and I now open the floor for questions.
What we will do is we'll complete the entire listening ceremony, and we'll keep it as open for anyone who's interested to come forward and interact with the guests. Can I request you all to just stay back for a minute till we give the mementos to the guests? Thank you so much for your patience.
We'd like to extend an open appreciation to all our future leaders of Maharashtra who have joined us today. I'd like to request our distinguished speakers to please come forward and present.
Hariom. 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 Hariom.
Tejasvi and Vaishnavi.
भाई कहाँ से है? क्लासमध्ये घेत नाही तुम्ही.
Now I'd like to request Marvin.
यहाँ देखिए ना बैकअप करो.
Arindam sir.
ऊपर से लो.
Praveen sir. And also request Marvin ma'am to please extend appreciation to the teacher who has accompanied the students here today from Maharajpet. Sir, please come forward.
साक्षी. वे वो लेके